Have you ever wondered what's really hidden inside Fort Knox? A vault so secret, even US presidents have been denied entry. But while everyone talks about America's gold, no one talks about Britain's. Beneath London lies one of the world's largest gold reserves. But who owns it? Why is it surrounded by so much silence? And what are they hiding from us? In this video, we uncover the gold secrets of the United Kingdom and the invisible ties that link it to global power. Subscribe now, because what you're about to hear might change everything. Fort Knox is one of the most secure and secretive places on Earth. Built in 1936, it's known as the legendary home of America's gold reserves, reportedly holding over 4,500 metric tons of gold. Guarded by razor, wire-armed personnel and even landmines, it has become a symbol of wealth and power. Yet despite its fame, very few people, including US presidents, have ever been allowed inside. This extreme secrecy has led to countless theories. Some believe Fort Knox is empty. Others suggest the gold has been secretly moved or sold to foreign governments. Why else, they argue, would the US refuse independent audits or public inspections for decades? The last official visit by outsiders was in 1974, and even then they were shown only a fraction of the vault. But while Fort Knox gets all the attention, few people ever ask, where does Britain keep its gold? The United Kingdom, one of the world's oldest financial empires, must have its own treasure, he's right? The truth is that Britain's gold vault is just as impressive, and perhaps even more mysterious, than Fort Knox. Beneath the streets of London, hidden under the Bank of England, lies a vault that stores over 400,000 bars of gold. That's more than £100 billion in value. Yet there are no public tours, no official videos, and almost zero transparency about what's really inside. And that's where the story begins. Because if Britain's gold vault is even more secret than Fort Knox, what are they trying to hide? One of the most disturbing questions about Fort Knox and the Bank of England's gold vault is this: is the gold actually still there? Despite holding enormous amounts of the world's wealth, neither vault has undergone a full independent audit in decades. In both the US and the UK, authorities have offered vague reassurances, but no hard proof. Take the case of Germany. For years, the German central bank stored a large portion of its gold in the US and the UK, but when it requested to repatriate some of it in 2012, it was met with resistance. Officials were told it would take 7 years to bring the gold back, and when some of it did return, the bars had different serial numbers. This sparked outrage and speculation that the original gold had been leased, sold, or worse, never existed at all. The UK had a similar controversy. When Venezuela requested its gold back from the Bank of England in recent years, Britain refused, citing political instability. But many believe the real reason was simple. The gold might have already been used as collateral in secret deals or temporarily loaned to other nations. That raises a bigger question. How much of the gold in these vaults is truly owned and untouched? If the gold has been moved, loaned, or sold, we're looking at a global confidence game. These vaults represent more than metal. They represent economic stability and the backbone of fiat currencies. If it ever came to light that the gold wasn't really there, the consequences could shake financial markets around the world. During World War II, Britain found itself in a terrifying position. With Nazi Germany advancing through Europe, the United Kingdom feared that London and its gold reserves could be overtaken. In a move kept completely secret from the public, Britain launched Operation Fish in 1940, a massive and covert transfer of gold to Canada. It was the largest movement of wealth in history at the time. Tons of gold were loaded onto ships and sailed across the Atlantic under threat of German U-boats. The mission was a success, and the gold was hidden in underground vaults in Montreal and Ottawa. This move helped secure Britain's financial survival during the war, but it also created long-term questions that still echo today. Some documents suggest that not all of the gold ever made it back. There are rumors that a portion of Britain's reserves remained in Canada, or were used to back secret wartime loans from the United States. Others claim that deals were made between Churchill and Roosevelt that tied British gold to American influence for decades after the war. If true, this means that Britain's gold isn't just about national wealth, it's tied to deep geopolitical agreements that shaped the post-war order. And perhaps that's why both governments remain so silent about their gold today. Because what lies inside these vaults may not just be gold, but the truth about who really controls the world's financial system. Gold is more than just a shiny metal, it's a symbol of trust. It backs currencies, secures international loans, and anchors global economies. If a country claims to have gold but can't prove it, confidence in that country's financial system begins to crumble. And if a major nation like the UK or the US were exposed as bluffing, the impact could trigger a global financial crisis overnight. The modern monetary system is built on faith, the belief that central banks have the assets they claim to have. But if the gold inside Fort Knox or the Bank of England has been secretly leased, pledged, or replaced with IOUs, then the foundation of that faith is already cracked. Markets run on perception, and the moment that perception is broken, panic spreads fast. Imagine what would happen if Britain admitted that a large portion of its gold is missing or no longer under full control. Investors would flee, the pound could collapse. Central banks worldwide might start repatriating their reserves, accelerating the crisis. It wouldn't just be a scandal, it would be a global awakening about how fragile the system really is, and that may be why silence has become the strategy. By keeping the truth locked away, both literally and politically, governments can preserve the illusion of strength. But illusions don't last forever. The question isn't if the truth will come out, it's when. And when it does, it might not just shake vaults, it could shake empires. Fort Knox may be the world's most famous vault, but the real mystery might be buried beneath the streets of London. Britain's gold reserves are massive, yet cloaked in silence, secrecy, and unanswered questions. From wartime transfers and foreign ownership to missing audits and political maneuvering, the truth about Britain's gold remains hidden from the public eye. But secrets don't stay buried forever. As global tensions rise and economic systems grow more fragile, the spotlight on gold will only get brighter. And when the vault doors finally open, metaphorically or literally, the world may discover that the true treasure was never the gold, but the power it represents. Subscribe for more eye-opening investigations into geopolitics, history, and the forces shaping our world. Because understanding the past is the key to unlocking the future.